The global right has called on mining companies in the West Africa to show more responsibility to host communities for the impact of mining activities on their communities. The Executive Director for Community Excellence in Zamfara State, Adamu Abubakar, made the call at an event to discuss ways and methods of enhancing efficient management of natural resources by host communities in the sub-region. Participants at the event revealed that many communities are being negatively impacted by unregulated and uncontrolled mining activities in their communities and called on government to protect Nigerians from these companies.
We have many mining communities in Anka, Bukuyu, Moru, and Gumi local government in Zamfara State, but due to escalation of the conflict, almost all the communities now are displaced. Therefore, it is no longer an issue of where we have artisanal miners, because there is a rate of insecurity and the escalation of insecurity in most of the mining host communities. Therefore, it is no longer about having artisanal mining activities, but they are looking for alternative way to save their lives. Therefore, most of the mining host communities are now IDPs, roaming the streets of major towns and the local government in the state. Zamfara State is one of the major states where I can say the epicenter of insecurity in the northwest region of Nigeria. As you know that we share boundary with Katsina, Sokoto and Kebbi State and some part of Niger State and some part of Niger Republic. Therefore, there is forest borders and the infiltration of small and the light arms that the bandits are using to raid communities. At the same time, there is an increase of gender-based violence, kidnapping, abduction for ransom, and the killing of individuals. One of the major or primary objectives of any government is the protection of life and the properties of citizens. Therefore, it is the constitutional responsibility of the government at the national and the state level to ensure safety and the security of this mining host community. That is first, because it is when you are alive that you will ask for other social infrastructure. At the same time, if you visited any of these mining host communities, there is nothing to show on the ground that this community are endowed or blessed with natural resources. No good roads, no potable water, no schools, and there is nothing to indicate that they are blessed with natural resources. Therefore, it is the duty of the government and other mining companies to ensure that these host communities, they have benefited, no matter how small it is, from the mineral resources endowed in their own localities.
The West African mining host community in Daba is actually put together by Global Rights and African Coalition for Corporate Accountability, ACA, headquartered in South Africa. Is a forum that creates a platform for critical stakeholders to dialogue on sustainable host communities in the West Africa sub-region. And so it just creates a platform for all stakeholders that are in the solid mineral sector to come and discuss, have frank discussions on issues and challenges, trends, and of course proper solutions on some of the impacts of mining activities on our host communities across the West African region. And so it's actually a West African program where we interrogate the whole issues across the West African region, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and all other West African region, and to see how can we make our host communities sustainable. How can we reduce or eliminate the negative impacts of mining activities in our communities? And so why it's good to do business? How do we ensure that we are doing business in a way that does not negatively impact the lives and livelihood of the host communities?
When there was no mining companies, my community was better off. Currently, there is a company mining lead and zinc in my community where they call Enyimagalago in Ndufalike. Enyimagalago in Ndufalike, where First Petrate, popular known as Royal Salt, mined. When that company was not there, our community has no problem. But now, they have destroyed our farmland, our water polluted, they're using soldiers on us. Our houses, when they do blastering, the thing affects our houses. They cannot fit it back, they cannot rebuild it back. Even when you go to the company, that you're out of your blastering, you have affected my house, come and see, you see the crack. Some of the house will collapse. The company will not fix it. The landowners are not carrying along. The company used to say that they don't have anything to do with personal landowners. They only know communities. And that is where they write CDA, Community Development Agreement, that is not even implemented. 2019, when the Minister of State visited Ebonyi State, I reported an issue to the minister. Right there, the director of First Petrate was there, Mr. Obi Aliu. I told the minister that the company says that the federal government is inside their pockets. There is nothing we can do. And this company owned by an Indian man. India cannot come to our country and be maltreating us, and our country people will be keeping quiet. I don't know why Nigerians are protecting the expatriates, but we, the citizens of country, our rights are being denied. Right there, I told the minister that this man says the federal government is inside their pocket, and the envelope are fatter than our voice. I pointed at the director before the eyes of the minister, said, this is what he said. The man was short of words. He didn't challenge it. He didn't deny it. The minister set a committee to look into it, but they didn't do anything. We have been writing to the National Assembly. They invited us for hearing. Royal Salt did not come. The second sitting, the third sitting. Our honorable representing equal and exact consequences, Honorable Chinedoga, intervened. The federal government, the rep members, they asked Royal Salt to pay us 1.5 billion for damages. No. Naira. 1.5 billion for damages, because they send people to come and see our communities if they have developed or what they claim they have done to the community if they did it. None was not in the record. I'm running to the federal government to come to our aid, to help us. These Indian people are not from Nigeria, and they're humiliating us.
Over time, we have seen situations where communities where natural resources are taken in the country have become the face of poverty in the land. And that is what my work over the years in the mining sector has looked at, including the oil and gas sector. So sometimes you hear of billions of naira, of dollars that are mentioned, but when it comes to taking a look at the life, the life of the people living in the area where this huge resource, huge money is coming from, you then begin to ask yourself whether to weep or not. So that has been the experiences. I've had the opportunity of traversing at least all the 6 geopolitical zones of this country, trying to explore, examine, and review, or even appraise the life of people living in resource-rich areas, especially in the mining sector and the oil and gas sector also. The story is a very pathetic one, and I don't feel proud as a Nigerian to say that of the huge amount of money we've raised in this sector, that this is what we have for people in the sector. For instance, between 1999 and 2020, this country has raised over 740 billion US dollars from oil and gas. Between 2007 and 2020, this country has raised over 620 billion naira from the solid minerals. The question is, what is the story of communities from where these resources have, or this huge money have been raised?